We have two topics, of course, to discuss today. The Anglophone crisis. What has the church do to restore peace? We know that the Prime Minister, Chief Dr. John Guti, actually received, of course, religious leaders. Notably, he received, of course, the Archbishop of Bamenda, and equally with the Presbyterian head, of course, in Yaoundé at the Prime Minister's office. It was this week, of course, to discuss on the Anglophone crisis alongside motorbike riders. What can we say the measures taken so far by the church, equally by these motorbike riders, to help solve the Anglophone crisis? For 10 years today, the crisis is very much alive, and we know that many Cameroonians are now IDPs in their own homeland, and equally many Cameroonians have lost their lives. Properties have been damaged. 10 years of misery, 10 years of suffering in the Anglophone zone, be it in Bamenda or, of course, in Boya. So what is the church doing? What are the measures taken to actually remedy the situation? We want to believe that by the end of this program, we shall be having answers, especially as we have a researcher on the Anglophone crisis with us this afternoon. Equally, we shall be discussing, of course, hate speech and, of course, the fear for violence in Gabon, with the Gabonese government that has taken the bold step to actually suspend social media in Gabon. Can we say it's a step that the Cameroonian government has to emulate, has to copy? That is a question that we shall be answering equally in our second part of this program. The program, of course, is the Republican debate on the Republican television. We say good afternoon and equally good morning, depending from which angle of the world you are watching us at this particular moment. Those of you eating, we say good appetite and welcome, as we have men of substance, men of caliber to discuss with us this afternoon. I'll begin with him. He is a researcher in the Anglophone crisis. They call him Hassan Sama. Hassan Sama, we say good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Tabi. Good afternoon to my co-panelists and to your team working in the background, to the proprietor who has allowed us to air out our views here, to the public out there. And I think that we shall continue to talk as long as you give us the opportunity that we should say something. In light, we're trying to see how our community, our society can be a better place for us. I wish that at the end of our conversation here, at least those out there listening to us, who are not less better than us, who do not have the opportunity to be on this your panel, that they will be able to say they have learned one or two things, and the powers that be will be able to call you and ask you that, I would like to see Hassan Sama, I would like to see this, I would like to see this, because certain things that they said there were relevant. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you, Hassan Sama, equally with us this afternoon. We have, of course, Ayok James Sebut. Ayok, we say good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon to the Republic and the Republicans, to all the sons and daughters of this nation. Good afternoon to my co-panelists. Good afternoon to my current mother, Mama Ines Ngayas, and the husband, Daddy Mosonge, and to Mama Shiri, Lionel Lucy Chungi, and the mother, Mama Pauline, who are somewhere around Ngusu. And my family back home in Faitok, Ayogoyong, the Ayogoyong family, they are Sabak family in Faitok village. And in fact, the CEO of this TV station, who is the TV, this house is now my house. I'm a part and parcel of this house. So I'm very delighted and very happy to be a part and parcel of this house.
Because normally there is this program, La République ici, that runs from Monday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12. That is actually presented by Hippolyte Namam. You actually pass in that program, ici La République. Equally, with us on this panel, we have, of course, the Deputy Secretary General of the PAP party. He is equally in charge of criminal matters within the party and within, and even when I say within, it means that if the PAP is attacked today, he can equally defend the PAP. And of course, we know that he is a candidate for the upcoming parliamentary election in Donga Mantum. And it's a pleasure for us to have him with us this afternoon. They call him, of course, Dage George. Dage George, we say good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tabi Clarkson. Good afternoon to my fellow co-panelists here present. Good afternoon to all the population of the Northwest and Southwest region, especially those from Donga Matung Division. Special greetings to the National President of the Popular Action Party, Mr. Njang Dennis Tabe. It's always a pleasure to be on this panel sharing with you, especially our topics of today. There are topics that are really touching, and there are topics that can either destroy or build the society if not handled with care.
We say thank you for coming. I don't want to say honorable, but we know that you are running for the position of honorable in Donga Mantum in the next coming parliamentary election. Well, there is a big event going out there in Buea. We are talking the 31st edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. And news coming also from Buea say that Sarah Etonge has, the queen of the mountain, has won the category of the veteran. And it's good news. We know that she won this competition on 7 occasions when she was still a young lady. Today she is a veteran, and of course she has won the veteran category. More grace to her elbows, we shall put it that way. Congratulations to her, to Madame Sarah Etonge, who has won the category of the veteran category as to what concerns this 31st edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. It always makes me to think of names like Lekunze, names like Esoka Original, and so on and so forth. Those who actually made proud the colors of Cameroon during the 80s and the 90s when it comes to the Mount Cameroon race. Well, we shall come back now to our topic of the day, the very first topic of this day. We are talking the Anglophone crisis. I'll begin again with you, Hassan Sama, the Anglophone crisis. What can we say the church and these religious leaders they have done, because they were received in audience at the Prime Minister's office this week alongside motorbike riders? What can we say they can bring, or what have they done to actually appease the minds of the people in the Northwest and Southwest regions?
Yeah, thank you once more. I'm learning from you that they were received by the PM. I hope that they were received in connection with the crisis.
Of course, of course.
Thank you. I equally heard you talk of the bag riders who were received. Who are these bag riders? From Norway and Southwest?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I hope those bag riders were not the Amber Boys who attended the 2019 Major General Dialogue. The second thing, I want to be very, very happy because each time we have told some people who, to me, I consider them ignorant of how they can resolve a crisis of this nature, that the dialogues and negotiations are ongoing, and that the only one that you will hear will be the one that is already public. You see, what the Prime Minister is doing is the process that is going on. What we used to say, they said, no, how can it be going on? We don't know. No, there are many things that is happening. Many things are going on in the background that we don't know. But one day we shall know. Okay. So I want to thank the Prime Minister, who, despite all the humiliation that he has had, when in his effort to see how his community can live once more in Cameroon in peace, he still continues to seek for a way, to find a way out of this quagmire. I I say congratulations, the PM. You are talking about the church. I don't want to reformulate your question, but for the sake of what I would like to hinge on, I would say, is it the same as saying what the role that the church has played so far? Is that the same question?
Yeah, it's almost the same question.
Okay, if it is the same question, the first thing that in this question now is the church, by its vocation, is peace. Peace and peace. Second, the church has never declared any war on anybody. And the church, just like lawyers, the church stands with everybody. Every child of God is a child for the church. And the church tries to see those who are falling along the way, along the path, the good path. The church, what the church does is to see how to bring them back. So the church has always stood for justice, has always stood for peace and the like. You will remember, I will just recall the memory of our listener out there, that when this issue started in 2016, the church, what we really talk here, I want to talk about the Catholic Church. With that, I master a bit. But to an extent, all the churches, even Islam, even the Muslim, they took part. But I remember that the Catholic Church, they came out with a memorandum of more than 200 pages. In that memorandum, they tried to outline the causes, the remote causes, and gave a way out, a way forward. And they sent it to the powers that be, and they even sought for audience with the head of state, which they were never given that opportunity. That's little I know. So they have always played a good role. But what strikes me with the church is the fact that despite all that, they have never taken the wrong path by maybe encouraging violence, no matter from where it is coming from. And I want to equally inform you that when we are talking about the church, the religious body, there are 3 levels of leadership in society. We have the top level, we have the middle level, and we have the bottom or grassroots level. These church leaders or the church, they fall within the middle class level. And the middle class level, this is where the real solutions can come from, because they have a relationship, a liaison rule between the top and the bottom, which means they can easily come down to the bottom here, try to find out what the people are really clamoring for, and they will be able to go up. And most of those people who are within that middle range level, these are people who are selfless. They are not doing this. They are not doing all this for any position, for any post. They are just people who are selfless. Most of them are self-made people. Most of them. We have these stars. We have academics. We have even the local people who have made their names in terms of trying to resolve problems. They all converge there. And so I think that in this topic that you have brought up, it is only for us or for me to re-echo the fact that the church or the religious personalities and bodies, they should continue to be talking. They should continue to call the attention of the powers that be, that all children of God, they deserve to live well. There is no reason why others should be killing others. No matter who is killed, nobody has any right to take life that he or she never gave. So I think that
Asante Sama, it's true that we know that the church has once been attacked by the armed separatist boys, by the Amber boys. We equally know that even the late Cardinal Tumi was kidnapped by these same Amber boys. And today we are asking the question to know if the church can help to solve the Anglophone problem.
First, I'm making a correction.
Yeah,
the church has never been attacked. Individuals within the church have been attacked. Because Cardinal Tumi is not the church.
Yes.
They have been attacked for reasons. When there's disorder, chaos, There's nothing like protocol in anything people are doing. And that's why the church, despite all that attack, the church has never, I'm just repeating myself, the church has never gone against their peaceful preaching. The church has continued. So we cannot say the church has been attacked.
When a cardinal
When-
is attacked,
yes.
a cardinal from the Catholic Church,
When
we can say the church is attacked.
okay, I agree with you too. Let me agree there.
Yes,
And when a bishop is killed,
the church is equally attacked.
and the church does what? Nothing. Because of what? The church says, all God created man in his image and gave room for man to decide evil or good. So, and the work of the church is to transform the dividers. We call those evil people the dividers, to bring them to become connectors like the church. So I think in conclusion, the church, despite all the odds, have remained steadfast to their position of peace, peaceful resolution, dialogue, negotiation, and the like. And the church stands a better position to act the role of a mediator, negotiator, and what have you.
Ayuk James about what is your take? The church and the Anglophone crisis, can we say church leaders can help in solving this issue? The PM received them this week, and they're equally motorbike riders. Can we say there is this connection, especially the importance too of bike riders who are equally accomplices of these separatist fighters?
Mr. Clarkson, first as a servant of God who happened to grow in the midst of priests, pastors, and the church, what they taught us, the church is you and I. The church is you and I. It's a community of people who are there to work for justice and peace. And the only instrument we have, or they have, is the Bible, the Word of God, that reforms individuals. And as you can see for yourself, individuals are not like objects. That you think that if you start today, if there's this phone that is here, if I see that this phone is not supposed to be, I can just change the phone and put something else. No, it takes time for any individual to be reformed and be transformed and become what we expect from he or she. That's why you see at times people think that the church is not really, it's not doing anything, but they were there before the crisis and they are still there working, doing the same job. Don't forget the church is a non-interest pressure group in the society. The church plays the role. The church is not only, let me say, the assembly, the committee is not only Catholic, press, but you have the confederation of Protestant, of Pentecostal churches in Cameroon. So the church, the community of church is not only the press or the Catholic. Today we have a confederation of Pentecostal churches in Cameroon, who are all, the role they play within the society is non-interest pressure group. So they don't have any financial support that they can use either to multiply or to do anything within the society. The only thing they can do to the society is to come in as gentlemen to support gentlemen peace agreement within a society. They come in as gentlemen to support, or as people of God, as people who preach love.
So
because
you are
they say
saying that
God,
so you are
They
saying
have
that they
been
cannot help to take
they
out
have
the
been
boys
doing-
from the butches?
they have been doing. If the problem is they are limited, I'm trying to tell you why they are limited. So the people that have to come in now, as the president rightly said, that we need a community dialogue. Now, it's a combination of the head, the head of a committee, who is the chief, and his kingmakers and his counselors, because they alone, they know everybody within the community. Those who live within and out, and they know their activities. Only the chief and the king who knows. So when the president says we should start by community dialogue, this is where the chiefs and the other, they should also come in with the church and sit together. And I think if all those people, they come together, they will arrive to a concrete and a peaceful resolution.
Can we not say that in 10 years today, these people have been missing in action?
Because they have never
10 years is just too much too.
No, it's too much, but it's just because they have never come together as a community to sit and dialogue. You know, the main thing when they talk about dialogue, you know what they always look, what we are looking for, or what the people are looking for, to build trust. To build trust. At times, those guys that they say they live in the bushes, they are just afraid. They don't trust the people. If you tell them that they don't trust you. If someone don't trust you, you cannot. Even if you tell him anything, you offer him anything, he will not accept because he doesn't trust you. So dialogue starts with to build trust and communication within the stakeholders. Who are now the stakeholders of that conflict? Do we know them? How do we build trust within those stakeholders so that they should be communicating? Because that's where everything must start. That's where everything must start. So we should seize this opportunity since the head of state himself, because that idea that they said we should organize a national dialogue with a country that is deeply divided like ours, we should be very frank. Should be very frank. We speak the truth in love. We are living in a society that is deeply divided. It's not easy to bring all those people together in 3 or even if in 1 week to arrive to have a concrete solution.
No, we have to start somewhere.
That's why I say we have to start from the community, the chief, the kingmakers, and the church, because the church is within the community.
Okay.
You have so many associations, you have so many other associations. All they should start from there. When they start from there, it will be very easy now to take it up.
Okay, thank you. Dr. George, I know you are also a Christian. The church, what can we say the church has done so far in resolving the Anglophone problem?
Well, Mr. Tabi Clarkson, that is a very good question. You see, since the Anglophone crisis aggravated, we've seen churches rendering help to those who are internally displaced,
To the IGPs?
those who have been also in one way injured by the war. We have also seen churches advocating for peace in Cameroon through the effort of, we have seen Cardinal Tumi and others. Cardinal Tumi even worked tirelessly to call for an Anglophone or conference, which at the end of the day didn't work. We have seen churches preaching love, unity, and peace. And coming back to your question, yes, what can they do to bring about peace, to end Anglophone crisis? I will tell you that the church can only act as mediator. They can only act as negotiator, negotiating between the two parties, mediating between the two camps, if there is a sincere and inclusive dialogue. You see, when this question that you've asked about what have the church done, it boils down to what the state has also been doing, and us as Cameroonians, we have been doing to make sure that the Anglophone crisis comes to an end. Our problem in this country is that we always have project in mind, but implementation, we fail woefully. You see, I heard my co-panelists talk here about community dialogue. You know, when we talk of community dialogue, it should be something that is transparent. It is visible. We're talking about a dialogue, we're talking about a crisis that have taken so many lives. So when we talk of community dialogue, it must be visible. It must be transparent. There must be serious follow-up. Since the announcement of this community dialogue, we haven't seen any major steps taken. The same like the special status for Anglophones. that they announced and today is just a paperwork. The same like the presidential reconstruction plan that today is still paperwork. Why do I say it's still paperwork? What's impossible to reconstruct when the war is going on? You see, when we talk of community dialogue, this means all the chiefs in their various villages have to call for their people to dialogue with them. The question I will ask is, our chiefs in the northwest and southwest region, are they still looked upon by their people as those chiefs that upheld ancestral secrecy and respect their rule of neutrality? No. Majority of them have joined partisan politics. Majority of them have taken side. Some are even here in Yaoundé. Some have even constructed their palaces here in Yaoundé. How then can they call for a dialogue in a village where they are absent? You see, that's why I said when we talk of community dialogue, this is something that we must plan. We must do planification in every decision we are taking. We're talking about a 10 years crisis that have led to to loss of lives, damages of properties, and it has traumatized many of our people of the northwest and southwest region. Do you believe that on the 13th of February, a village in Donga Mantung Division, Combat, has completely been set ablaze? And the accusing fingers are pointing at the Mbororos headmen, who they call them from Nigeria to come and assist the Mbororo brothers in Donga Mantung. And do you know how this crisis of the Mbororo people with the Amber Boys started in Donga Mantung? It has a foundation that is very delicate. You see, we have some of our sub-divisional officers and divisional officers who are supposed to do the right thing in order to bring peace in the area. Some of them are there, fueling and aggravating the crisis. Let me give you people a few examples. The sub-divisional officer of Ndu subdivision, when they come out with the idea of vigilante and giving them arms, somebody who has not got any military training, who has not been properly trained, you are giving him arms to go and fight Amber. Tomorrow, when those very guys turn to be Amber or turn to be criminals in the society, who will then be, how can we differentiate between the Amber now and those ones holding guns? It has led to crisis that we have today in Ndu. We have, before this incident I'm talking about on the 13th, we have had the incident of Gidado, that 14 people were killed, including children, father, and mothers. If we keep on for over 10 years coming up with solutions on papers without implementing them correctly, we are failing. See, for example, the Ngarbu massacre. That is murder, manslaughter. I read the other day that judgment have been passed and the highest jail term given was 10 years. No. The Penal Code of Cameroon classified crimes, Article 21. Classified crimes under misdemeanor, misdemeanor, felony, and simple offenses. Now the crime committed in Garbu is felony. Felony which is punishable from 20 years to life imprisonment or death sentence.
Mr. Dage.
There are things we have to take serious about Anglophone crisis.
Mr. Dage,
yes,
before we classify the crimes, it's true that we are not here to talk the Gabu. We are not here to
it's
talk
linked to the Anglophone
yes,
crisis.
we know, we all know.
Yes.
The role of the church. What do you think the church can do to remedy the situation?
Mr. Tabi, the question you are asking is as if you want me to beat around the bush. We have come here, it's not only about the church. Your topic is about the church. Yes. But we must go into details.
We are not refusing.
Let's
focus on the church.
you some examples here that the church have been there rendering humanitarian help.
Yes.
They have been there preaching peace. They have even proposed written resolution.
They cannot bring out the boys
which
from
it has
the
never been respected. They have been asking for a sincere and inclusive dialogue. You understand? Which have not been respected. Let me tell you something. When we said the church did not buy guns for these boys. And secondly, the church is not the final authority of the state to decide. If the church called the boys in their various denominations to preach peace, And by the end of the day, they are being arrested by militaries and gendarmes. The church will be in trouble because their their colleagues of those boys that stayed back will come and attack the church. And let me tell you, even if the church goes as far as struggling to call and dialogue with them, will they be given that authority to do so by the government? The question is no. Why? Because even Katina Tumi attempted that. They have written petition asking that they should give them the authority to see how they can do it. It has never been respected. But we have seen that the church has done what they can do at their own level, preaching peace, rendering help. It is now left for the state of Cameroon that will be sincere enough to see that my people have died enough, accept a sincere, inclusive dialogue with a neutral mediator. I think that time the church can come in as a mediator if they don't want any foreign organization to act as a mediator.
Thank you. Thank you. It's true that somebody is saying that he is disappointed with the church, that the church has not done enough to actually bring back peace or to ask this boy to come out from the bushes. I will put it that way. That the church equally has that social responsibility too, to educate its I will put it, its faithfuls, educate the parents, educate its community, and so on and so forth. It's true that Pa Hassan, who is doing research on this issue, certainly will tell us more about the church. The church, because I'm insisting on the church because they were received by the PM this week, and it's important to actually know the role that they can play in actually solving the crisis.
Yeah, thank you once more. I just hope that after the PM received the people that you enumerated here, somebody will not rise or one day and say, no, those people cannot change anything, because each time the PM comes up with an initiative, there's somebody within the rank of the government who will always come out to say the PM was wrong. I just pray for the PM that this time he should rise. He has started being right with the post authority. He should continue to be right there, and we'll pray for him. Yes, some people can be disappointed with the church, but they don't have that. They cannot justify why they are disappointed. However, what we have been saying here, we have just placed the church like a moral authority. But as my co-panelist said, the state of Cameroon is structured. The church has just a small portion of power that it can exercise, and it cannot be all powerful. The all-powerful power is with the state. And you know who will call the state? It's with the head of state. He has people he has delegated powers to, but everything is hard. But I can understand, it's not that I'm even seeing why you even brought this topic. You are perfectly right. First and foremost, there are two authorities in our communities that could be able to assemble people, were either the traditional rulers or the religious bodies. But we know very well that most traditional rulers are no longer in their societies. But the church has remained there, despite all the odds. They are there, church services are going on. So we expect much from them. Thank you for bringing it up. Yes. So now, the question now is, in my research, in the way forward, my proposals to the powers that be, I call the attention of the powers that be that they should allow every person or groups who think that they can offer something in the resolution of this crisis, that they should stop that is suspecting anybody who says something who is not tied with theirs. For example, journalists. Wazizi was killed, as we hear. Part of it was that he was his farm or his whatever was being used by the boys, as if he's the one who handed it to them, as if they were paying some rents to him. No, but that was a journalist like you here. You have to go out. How do we now get the information? How do we get the boys talk, or what they call terrorists? How do we get them? They have to talk, so that we can be able maybe to advise them. You journalists, the church, how does the church talk with them? I remember one time in the diocese of Kumbu, the bishop assembled the boys in his diocese and prayed for them. He was not praying for them that they should continue fighting. He prayed for them that violence will not take them anywhere. But you remember how it was interpreted by the powers that be. He has a relationship with them. If you don't even know, those of us who are doing research on this thing, it is not easy. They interpret the type of suspicion they have on us. The question they keep on asking us, how do you go to them and they don't kill you? Because to them, they believe that anybody who goes there, okay. Those boys want to be heard. When I went, I don't want to make somebody come here to they should someone me somewhere I should say where I went. When I was on the field, I had to do everything to listen to some of them. What is real? Because this problem is not their problem alone. I am Anglophone. If they are fighting for Anglophone, then it means that I should be aware of what they are fighting.
Are they really still fighting for Anglophone?
No, we are not there. We
are not there, it's true. The church.
We are not there.
Yes.
So now, why we are asking the church, the church can do much, but their hands are tied because the regime and the party, the regime believes that the solution can only come from them. Any other person, no, you have no right to it. So what would the church do? You know that?
Do you think the regime believes so before the PM is actually receiving religious
now
leaders?
I want not to. My co-panelists have mentioned
and
something.
even backriders too.
Yes, my co-panelists here have mentioned something about community dialogue. To show you that the powers that be, the government, the regime, is just playing for time. If you now know that the traditional rulers, you have taken them hostage by implicating them in your political maneuver propaganda. They are there now. People do not listen to them because now they have conflicting opinions. Meanwhile, in those days when they were neutral, everybody, all the political parties were all their children. But today, you have destroyed them. Now, the only people you are able to destroy is the church. Was it not necessary if the government really wanted something concrete that it should identify and say, I'm asking the church, the religious leaders, to organize community dialogue? We will not know where we can go. Now that you have thrown it vague, nobody is organizing anything because, as he said, since that statement was made, nothing concrete is going on the field. So,
but when we talk of community, the first people who are concerned are they are traditional.
But they are not there. As I've just told you that most of them are not there.
The palaces here in Yaoundé.
Yeah, they are the palaces. Nobody in the village can take upon himself to organize something when the phone is still alive. Okay, they are not there. The people are there at the church. So why not hand this job
to the church?
To the church and tell them you people should do something. Because right now, who is summoning who? In which capacity? The state is supra. It means that the state has right to say, I have gone through what is going on. I can identify this person, can identify this group, that you people can help do something. And identify the church. And the church now could now come up. They may invite me, they may invite you. Now we'll go under the church and we'll sit down and talk. Don't forget too that when they are talking of the church is a moral authority. Even the politicians, they respect the church. Everybody respect the church. Just like they respect their teachers. So, if the church, as somebody mentioned, you even said Cardinal Tumi means church. Yes. He struggled something. That let us do something. Did you people allow him to do it?
No.
Do you know that Frundi, who was arrested, Cardinal Tumi was arrested, do you know what some people are thinking? That no, all Anglophones are ambas. All Anglophones are terrorists.
Okay. Are you also disappointed with the church? Like somebody who sent me a message that he is disappointed with the church, that the church has done nothing good in resolving the Anglophone problem?
Never. If I say I'm disappointed with the church, it means I will say I'm directly saying I'm disappointed with myself. Never. Let me just put on my casket as an independent researcher. We call ourselves the gentleman scientists. In a society, when as the state, the head of state is up there, he has that supreme power. You know who is down there who has also that supreme power is the chief and our funds. They are the moral, spiritual, and political authority of our community.
But they have abandoned
the
their
church.
communities.
Let me come. Not all of them. We should be this is a time that we should speak truth with love. That's the problem with us. That's the problem with so many of us.
Have
We
they
are
abandoned
not,
their
they don't know.
communities?
I say not everyone, not all of them.
Yeah, we agree.
All of
We agree on that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, if you have some of them who have abandoned their community with reason that they alone they know, you have some of the chiefs that are there, and some of those who are not there is because they are public servants. Like the chief, the prime minister himself is a chief. He's the chief of a village. You know that? The prime minister is the chief. So the problem here is the church is a social strata within the society. A social strata. You have the family, you have the church, and you have the school. So the people, when they talk about a community, those who are within a community, those are the different social strata that are within a community, which is directed by the chief or the fund. So when they say we did a community, beside we have other associations and NGOs who are there, when you say we want to organize a community dialogue, it's the chief or the fund that has to come, bring all those people together. They sit. The problem here is we don't want some of those people, they don't want to recognize the authority of the chief or the fund. They think that they want to use money. Those who have gone out, they have, they have managed to, they know the way they have managed to have their money. They think that they have become that oga pata pata, that when they come back to the village, everything they say is what they fund have, or the fund or the chief have to obey. No, that's where the problem is. That is where the problem is. And let me tell you, this crisis has just come to amplify what has been existing. But Mr. Sama, look at me, and to be very frank, you know that this crisis has just come to amplify the division that has been existing in our various families, the injustice that has been existing in our various families. And most of those guys who even joined that group, they were those young men who were abandoned within their family, within their families. You were suffering from that social injustice within their family. You and I know very well that this crisis has just come to expose what has been existing. The tribal war that we used to have in the northwest and the southwest. In the northwest, is it that before this Anglophone crisis started, is it the Anglophone, the Amber boys that used to fight? No. Those crises, those things have been existing. That's why now we are looking out for the way forward.
And the church?
Good.
What can the church do?
That's why I said the church cannot do anything by itself. The church needs to come together, all those stakeholders. They need to come together and sit as a community. Then that dialogue will start to speak truth in love to each other. The chief must be there. Those who are not there, those who are there, they should help them to come back. That's where the state should come in. The state should come in now with the security, secure those who are out, to take them back to their community, so that dialogue should start there. Because the problem we are facing today, people they think just because it started now because the Amber boys have. No. We have been living in total crisis in our various communities, in our various families. We have been living. So this crisis has just come to amplify what has been existing. So now, what is the way forward? Is for the church, which is a social strata, because he has that moral obligation to socialize the individuals within the community, to come in, join with our traditional leaders, with all their notables. Then they look for a concrete solution, how to resolve all those injustice within the community.
Dage, are you also disappointed with the way the church is doing her own things?
Yes, before I answer your question, I
Yes.
just want to correct some things that Mr. Ayuk said here. You see, the Anglophone crisis, we are talking about a crisis that includes 2 regions of Cameroon, includes two regions that were independently partitioned to Britain to prepare them for self-governance. When you come here and you liken Anglophone crisis that it has come to amplify, before that there were problems existing between families, existing between villages, existing between tribes, that is like, how can I put it? That's like going out of topic. We are talking about 2 states that came together. It hadn't mean you said this crisis came just to amplify the problem of 1972, when there was this vote, what people call referendum, and changed the name of state to unity state. And the case was aggravated when His Excellency, individually, without consultation, in 1984, changed that name to La République. If you said the crisis came just to amplify those grievances, then I will be okay with you. When you liken the Anglophone crisis to societal crisis, to family crisis, that's hypocrisy. A man of your caliber should not do that. Those are some of what you are doing. These are some of the utterances that have made the Anglophone problems to be aggravated to the level it is today. Because we don't want to look into our faces as you talk of truthfulness, honesty. We don't want to look into our faces and set the truth the way it is. The last time I watched you here on television, you said they cannot organize a dialogue because of the Anglophones. How many are they? You said it here on a Republican debate. And today you have made a statement likening it to that. How can you be claiming a section of the nation? I did not intercept you.
Never you said that.
I did not intercept you.
Mr. George.
I am talking to you directly to your face.
Please.
Never
The
you said
program is
that.
there, they can look.
Never you
Go on,
said that.
please.
So as I was saying,
Please.
before I was really intercepted, we are talking about 2 states that came together. If you don't know the history, and when we are talking about how to solve this problem, we should not bring lies inside. Now, concerning the community dialogue, as we have said it here, first, the chiefs, majority of the chiefs, are no more in their villages. I'm from the Northwest. I'm frequenting the area. I'm not talking like somebody like you that have been here for like 20 years and you have not gone to the village. You don't even know, before even the Anglophone crisis started, you have not been to the village. So I'm talking out of experience. I've always been to my village and other villages. Majority of those chiefs are not there because why? Some left because they have issues with the boys. The boys saw them like CPDM agent supporting the government, not doing the right thing. Some of them have constructed their palaces here. That's what I'm telling you, that which means they can no longer go back there. Now when the state said community dialogue, what are the measures? What are the steps? Who are those empowered to carry out that community dialogue? Those are the questions unanswered. The state must empower some people to carry out this community dialogue. For example, give authority to the church. They still have not yet authorized them. Which means any activity they organize with that state authorization is illegal. We have civil society activists. Like Pa Hassan is here. If he go and organize any dialogue in the name of community dialogue with that being empowered, is illegal and he will be arrested for that. The problem is that the state just make an announcement without giving us the headway. That's the problem here. This is the highest thing that we're talking about, the lives of people. Properties have been damaged. Both the military and the civilians are dying, my brother. So we are saying that when the state want to give us the headway, they must give measures of how this community dialogue should be implemented.
So if
what I'm expecting from the state,
if a fund is not there or a chief is not there, there's nobody to organize a dialogue.
that is why I've said, right? The state was supposed to give authorities, not only to the chiefs, because they know that majority of these chiefs are no longer there. They
But-
know.
but-
You understand?
but-
They were supposed to authorize people who, listen, let me answer your question. Say,
Yes.
it's only the chiefs that can organize. That's why I want to answer your question that the statewide giving the instruction of community dialogue. They know the chiefs are no longer there. Majority of them are no longer there. They were supposed to empower people who can carry out this dialogue in their various communities. They were supposed to empower the church, empower civil society activists to carry out the dialogue, especially in communities. Now, for example, there are communities where when a chief is not there, we have the second in command. You understand? So these things were supposed to make clear
Yeah.
for us
Land-
to follow.
land, please.
So we cannot give a blame to the church that the church has done nothing. The church has been doing their best within their own capacity. The church is a moral authority, not a legal authority.
Thank you, Dagger George. We are concluding on this topic, and each speaker will have 2 minutes as we conclude. I will begin with you, Asad Sama. Your last word on this topic. We are talking the way forward. We are talking this from the start of your parole. You actually congratulated the PM for taking such an initiative, for calling church leaders and even bike motor riders to actually talk peace, because peace is something which is quite important.
Yeah, thank you once more, and I want to thank my brother here for really taking on Mr. Ayuk to task, because for me, Mr. Ayuk took the issue it was too simplistic. Yes, what is happening within our families or within our villages, you cannot call it a crisis, because a crisis involves arms in wrong hands fighting constituted authority. Like what is happening in Norway and Southwest. The boys are fighting constituted authority. So you were a bit simplistic. However, I thank my man for, although he has been very hard, he was very hard on you. But that is debate. Yes, we still talk about the church. That is the main topic here. I still feel that the church can still do more. The church has done something, but it can still do more. Why do I say so? We heard that the church leaders were accountable to God, not to man on earth, and that they were selfless, that they were ready to sacrifice even their life for humanity. Today is no longer the case. That's where I say they are not doing the best, because we expect them that they should take the bull by the horn and damn the consequences. But all of them today, no, they are even business people. So they want to see, maybe, let me not go too far. They are now more afraid of mortals than their God, that they have sworn. They are taking an oath that we will represent you on earth and we're ready to sacrifice everything for you. So I think that the church, and I think that what is happening with the church is the atmosphere of Cameroon. If you see very well, each time the Catholic Church, that at least they have been talking, each time you see them in a meeting, there's always this schism, division amongst them, the Francophone, Anglophone. What the Anglophone are really saying, Francophones hardly see it with them. So I think that what the first thing should be that the regime, the powers that be, the political parties, the political regime should allow the church free, should allow the traditional rulers free hand, so that they can be able to talk to their people. Now, we are insisting on the church. Why? Because they are the ones who are still on the ground. Most of the traditional rulers are not there. And so when my friend was talking that some are there, why are some there? Those who are there are considered by the government to be their enemies. The real ones, the ones who are doing politics with the government, are not there. And if we are talking, it's just like, we cannot say because in your village, maybe around 100 villages, 100 villages, yes, there are around 60 chiefs or funds who are still there, 40. And that you can go ahead and forget about the 40. No, the situation is about human life. We should be able that we should talk sense in all. What happens if 60 of your villages, I'm just using an example, 60 in your community, 60 villages at 100, if there's peace there and there's no peace in the 40, will it go? It will not go, because the 40 can still influence, because we are interrelated. So you see, that is why sometimes you hear that there's lockdown. They said there's lockdown in Dop. Those of you who know Dop. They said the lockdown in Dop. But there's no lockdown in Kambe. There's no lockdown in Kumbu. But because the lockdown in Dop, Kambe and Kumbu are affected. So what we are saying, Mr. Ayuk, is that let all our traditional leaders, spiritual leaders, let them have free hand to be able to bring peace within their communities.
Yes, your last word before we conclude on this topic, Ayuk.
My last word is just to remind, when I talk here, I know he talk as a partisan. They are used to that. They see I, as a gentleman scientist and independent, my role is not to, when I see where the government, with the weakness of the government, to expose, but to bring in solution. I know you people are just there to see where the government is weak. You want to take use that opportunity. No, that's not my role. So whether you say it today till tomorrow, you will not change. I have my role. You have your own to play. So that's why when I want to talk, I will talk like an independent researcher, like a gentleman scientist. So I will never talk like a partisan politician. No. So my last word is for the community, that community dialogue. The state should come in, give the necessary means, let it be logistic or financial, to the various communities that are concerned, so that the dialogue should start immediately. The chiefs that are not, the funds that are not within their community, they should put in place the security measures, so that they should go back to their various community and bring together all the stakeholders within their community. That's the only way we can come out with something very tangible to resolve this crisis.
Thank you. The last word on the role of the church in solving the Anglophone problem.
First and foremost, as I really said earlier here, if the state really wants this Anglophone crisis to come to an end, they have brought up this announcement of community dialogue. They should empower the right people and lay down procedure on how this dialogue will be carried out. The church must be empowered. If the church is not empowered, anything they carry will be illegal. Any activities they carry out will be illegal. Civil society activists should be involved. Politicians should be involved. When we talk of community, everybody in that community must be involved, especially communities that there are no chiefs. You see, and these chiefs that we're talking about, when we are saying the communities that there are no chiefs, they cannot go back to even you give them 1 billion. Because how? You cannot buy life. Some people are aware that by going back, they might die. That's why you see they have been in Yaoundé for many years, they cannot go to their villages. So the state must empower people who can carry out this dialogue. Put down the procedure. They should give the go-ahead, the headway. And then, as Mr. Ayok said, put down the necessary resources for this dialogue to be implemented. It should not be something that today we hear that this job have received some individuals. Today, one quarter head that has received maybe some individual. People can even call their family members and say they have organized dialogue, community dialogue. We know the country in which we are. There must be transparency and strict follow-up.
Thank you.
For us to have everlasting solution.
There's hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. Hope that the crisis will one day come to an end. We say thank you to the PM, who is doing a wonderful job, making sure that the T's are cut and the I's are dotted in as to what concerns resolving the Anglophone crisis. We saw him in Bamenda speaking even pidgin with the people at the market. We saw him in Kumba. We have seen him. We are seeing the efforts of the PM in solving the Anglophone crisis. We are seeing the efforts of the President of the Republic in solving the Anglophone crisis. But before we move on to our second topic, I would like us to go back to Boya with this news that we are having. Of course, coming from the mountain race, the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope, the 31st edition. The winner of this year is Amadou B. Ibrahim. Amadou B. Ibrahim is the winner. Can we have his picture on the screen with the collaboration of our technical director? They call him, of course, Alembia Vom. If we can have, of course, the picture of Amadou B. Ibrahim, who, of course, is the winner of this year's Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. We are talking the 31st edition. Of course, B. Ibrahim, he is from Awing, from the Awing Athletics Club. And when we talk of Awing, it makes me to think of Ernest Anglophone. Congratulations to him. He is 38 years old and he has made it today in Boya. A sum of 10 million francs CFA for the winner. We say congratulations to him, to, of course, Amadou B. Ibrahim, the winner of this year's Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. Well, yes, we are now tackling our second topic of the day. We are talking the social media that has been suspended in Gabon because for the fear of violence, because of hate speech. Can we have our second topic on the screen? I'll begin again with you, Hassan Sama. We are talking hate speech. We are talking, of course, the Gabonese government that has suspended social media. Can we say it's a good step, a good thing to do?
It can only be considered good if that action was for the interest of the common man and not for the interest of one individual or a group of individuals who maybe wants to have more security. Take it that it is for the good of the common man. It is, I share with what they have done. But then they should be very careful because we have human rights violation. They should be very careful to do something that could backfire on them. Because right now, what they have done, it's not only Gabonese who are using social media there. They have signed treaties, pacts with international community, with international bodies who are using these facilities maybe to go about their activities in the country. When you do that, the consequences may not only end within the borders of Gabon, they go far. The second thing is, if it is the whole of Gabon, I am happy. Because what happened in my own country was that population was targeted. Even those who did not know what was called Amazonian fight. Everybody paid the price for it. And you cannot punish people collectively. You punish people who have done it. So now what is going on in Gabon? Is it different from what took place in Cameroon? I don't think. Because if you see these people are doing what they are doing there, cutting social media, all those type of the modern technology, they are not doing it for the good of the common man. It's for their own personal good. But I think that they should think twice and think well, because when the repercussions will start coming back, they should not blame anybody, because
if there is violence, the common man will not be affected.
The violence is always within the common man, and it is being propagated by the top level. They are the ones who create confusion within you people down here, so that you will not be able to ask them for accountability. You think that when they say there's lockdown, or they say people should go to the street, have you ever seen a big man, even those people, the politicians, who have asked children to go to the street, apart from Frundi in the 90s, maybe because Frundi was not an intellect or not a professor. Have you ever seen them going to the street? So when violence comes, the people who bear the brunt, these are the common man, and they are cutting. You think that the so-called suspension of the social media or whatever, the internet and the like, there is affecting them. They have other means by which they are doing their work. It is only the common man who pays everything. Just like even when prices of goods skyrocket in the markets, who are those who pay? Is the common man. Yeah, you know very well that most of these ministers, most of these big people, most of their food is still the common man who even comes begging them to open their gates so I should dash them food. They don't. They don't buy gas. They don't buy this. Their petrol is free. So I think
but globally, can we say that social media is a danger to Africa today?
I think so. I think it's a danger to Africa to an extent. It's a danger to Africa because we are not using it like where it came from. It's just like in my village. This whiskey, wine, all those type of things, especially whiskey. In my village, when you have a organized ceremony in your family. People come there. These old people, they come there. You remove a whiskey, which could be drunk by more than 100 people. One person wants to drink alone, and he can drink and die there. So what is happening to us is that what the white man has given to us, we have refused to use it to our own benefit. But they are using it to their own benefit. So there are a lot of things that, even democracy, I don't think that multipartyism, we don't deserve it. Because what is happening, you see what is happening in Cameroon. How can you say everybody has the right to belong to a political party? And during elections, if you don't support the party in power, you are targeted
We are
for
talking
anything.
social
No,
media.
I'm just
bringing democracy.
No,
so we are not yet right.
It is part of democracy.
So we are not
the
yet
social
right.
media is part of
Yes,
democracy.
yes, we are not yet right.
Remember, it is part of democracy. I think that we Africans, which I begin to wonder. For the first time, I want God to punish me for asking why He even created a black man, because we have refused to grow. Can you imagine that 60-something years after the so-called independence, we were unable, in Cameroon, to produce how do you call it? Toothpick. One who to come and do it for us. We are not able even to identify minerals that we have ours. We sit on it. But when they come from out and they come and they dig it and they are going, we are whipping up and down. As if they allow you, you even know there's something there. So I think that the social media, it is true that what we call freedom is not really free. You have to regulate it. You have to control it. But as I earlier said, is what is going on in Gabon, is this for the interest of the common man? I say no.
What is your take, Ayok?
Mr.
On
Tabi,
this issue of the social
media is just like current we are using now. This same current that gives us life, the same current that can kill. You know that now. So I think the president of Gabon, whom I know, but I cannot say I really know him deeply, he cannot take a decision like that, of that nature, just like that. I think before he got to that point, I think he had time to consult the different stakeholders, be it economic stakeholders, social, and those who are involved in activities within the nation. And I'm very sure he told them and he informed them that he will take that action. He could not just get up one morning and with all the embassies, all the diplomatic representative in Gabon, they just get up. No, I know he had time to inform them that for us to really know who are really those spoilers, those who use that social media for evil, we should just suspend it for some time. We'll get them. I think he took time to carry out all those, so he could not just get up one morning as we think that. No. So I think after that, they should, when they are bringing it back, they should at least say into it that the same problem Mr. Saba just said here, that we have so many things that were just socio-economic elements that were introduced in Africa that we were not prepared. We were not prepared. They didn't prepare us to adapt ourselves with those to those elements. So I think with time, that's why we are struggling to see. We are struggling, and we have to struggle. If not, those things will hold us down. We have to transcend. We have to transcend ourselves so that we go beyond. We go above. We should live up to expectation to all those modern technology. We call them modern technology that are from the West, that are already within us. We know have to adapt ourselves, learn how to use them for the good of the majority, because whether you like it or not, whether even there, where those things were invented, you still have people who use it for, I don't know, as a camouflage. Those spoilers who use it to destroy, for destruction. They don't use it to build, but they use it to destroy, for destruction. So I think the decision, the president, he knows the consequences. When a president takes a decision like that, he has measured, he has weighed and measured the consequences that will come after. So I don't think
Dagger George, we are talking social media suspended in Gabon. A good initiative taken by the president, the Gabonese president.
Mr. Tabi, you see, internet shutdown in Gabon. I received that news with mixed feelings. First and foremost, we know that we can take major decisions that have threatened the well-being of a state. Was there any direct threat to the well-being of the state of Gabon? No. Because they have made us know that they shut down internet because of hate speech and tribalism. These are things that can be tackled from the grassroots. Who are those people propagating this hate speech? We hunt them down, as Pastor Riley said. We hunt those individuals. On social media, everything is clear. In a country where it's having a good system of a good security system, you will know this particular individual. These are these particular individuals who
Even
are
fake names are
propagating. Yes.
If you use a fake
Fake
address,
names, the fake numbers, we will track them through the numbers, through the email address. You will get to know the people they discuss with them. You get other people that are discussing with them, you get to them.
Yeah.
You understand? It's very simple as that. So I don't see the reason why a state will shut down internet, telling us that it's because of hate speech and tribalism. Now, who are those people promoting hate speech and tribalism? Anything that the state stands against is difficult for it to progress in a state. If a state put strict laws punishing tribalism and hate speech and target those individuals, whether you are the president of that country that you are promoting that hate speech, you should be sanctioned, because nobody is bigger than the law. If we follow law strictly without being biased, those things will not be promoted. Now, when I make my research about the population of Gabon, only about 32.8% of the population are using the internet that they have cut down. You understand? 32.something% are using that internet that they have cut down. Now, when you cut down the internet because minority are propagating hate speech and you are punishing the majority, how does it look like? Is that a good decision? No, to me it's not a good decision. To continue, there are youth in that country that are self-employed using social media to promote their businesses. When you shut it down, it means you have destroyed somebody's company, because their companies are only function only online. You will just get one money and destroy somebody's company without compensation, because I did not hear anything like for these weeks that we have cut. They have not even put the limited debt that they will cut it. They just cut it like that. They say temporary. We don't know for how long. And for that how long, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, will they compensate those people whom they have destroyed their businesses? There are people there that are schooling online. They're in Gabon, but studying abroad. And some have already paid their tuition fee, some have already paid school fees. When you just come abruptly and you shut down internet, will you compensate those people? There are some maybe that were about to defend their thesis. Abruptly you shut down internet. They will maybe have to restart from afresh. Is that a normal decision? Whereas it was an internal problem that could be tackled. We can talk of shutting, if maybe it was an external problem, we will understand. This is an internal problem, and Gabon is full of security. And one thing that is I'm very happy about is that the head of Gabon is a high-ranking security personnel, which means situation like this should be tackled security-wise, diplomatically, without affecting the common man. Imagine a country that every year is the country that is geared toward developing. Today we use AI, artificial intelligence, to carry out business. When you shut down internet, means AI cannot function. How do you want your country to become an emergent country? People are driving towards emergency. It means that, okay, for example, let's take the case of United States of America. If you want to talk about hate speech, tribalism, as we are talking, racism, it means that America will shut down completely their own internet, and there will be nothing like social media functioning in United States of America. Let's take the case of South Africa here, where at one moment of time we heard of xenophobia and movement and all the like. This is the highest time that we should, our head of state, before taking decision, they should consult people that have the technical know-how about those situations to give him advice.
If national security is threatened, national security is threatened, why to shut down?
That was not the reason. You are not understanding. When I started my submissions here, I said they told us the reason is that what? They shut down internet because of hate speech and tribalism. That's the reason.
It can lead to threatening the national security of the state.
Let me show you that if it was something that is threatening the internal security of the state, it wouldn't have led to the shutdown of internet. Those guys will have been apprehended within maybe a period of 2 weeks and executed, because those leaders, they don't joke when it comes to their own interest.
Okay, Mr. Hassan Sama, it's true that we are talking. When we are talking Gabon, we are equally maybe seeing Cameroon somewhere, because we know that we have been having many things happening on social media these days. Finally, are you saying that it's a good or a bad thing to finally close or to suspend this the social media for a while?
You are a very intelligent man. You have just read my mind. You know, in the Central African region, the country that comes out with very obnoxious and unpopular policies is Cameroon. This shutdown of internet in Gabon, they have imitated just what we did. But before I continue, is the president who is shutting down internet, how did he come to power? That was through violence. And so, give to Caesar what is Caesar and to God what is God. He didn't come to power through the orthodox means, through violence. That hate speech too.
But he has been re-elected.
Because when you say hate speech,
he has been re-elected normally.
You think I don't know?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Now, how was he re-elected? It is not topic for our discussion.
Of course.
Good. As he has said, what is even hate speech? You know, it depends where you are standing. Hate speech to you. If I come here and I make certain statement here that the CNC can call you to order and suspend you, it can be considered your group here may consider hate speech. But I may have been saying the very bitter truth that you don't like. What I heard in Gabon, I thought that he was going to mention, I heard that what really provoked this action was that you were a teacher or civil servant, they were on strike. And the man did not, you know, in Africa, when you are out for your right, they make sure that what the man calls étouffé. They suffocate you that the world should not know. Do you know why the Anglophone crisis is still ongoing? Do you know that many countries, is maybe of recent, that they are knowing that it's not an internal issue? Yes, because what Africans do, and most of the dictators, like the one of Gabon, what they do is that when the people rise and they say, we want to know certain things, why is this happening? Why is this happening? For example, have you been told why immigrants are leaving America to Cameroon? You have right to know it as a Cameroonian. Have we been told? No. We are just, and the consequences of all that, it will fall back on the common man. So I think that it is true that freedom is not free. It has to be regulated. It is true. As I earlier said, in regulating your freedom, if you do it to the greatest satisfaction or good of the common man or the majority of your people, I don't see anything wrong with it. But as I earlier said, what is going on in Gabon, like I've been going in most African countries, it is a group of individuals who have taken their state hostage and they don't want anything that will disturb them from enjoying what they have at the back of their backyard. Because if it was that Gabon was doing all this for the good of the people, remember that the man who won the election in Gabon, before it was the supposed coup d'etat happened, the man has remained frustrated and with his group till today. And the man who took it by force, people who Christian may tell me that they take it by force. The man who took it by force is today claiming to be a Democrat. No. So let us do anything that we are doing as a state for the greatest interest, for the greatest good of our people.
Ayok, your last word on this issue, as we have less than 4 minutes to conclude. What is a message that you are sending out? We have to be responsible while we are using social media, because the social media is not there for evil, it's there for good, to do good.
Mr. Tabi, responsibility is not only on communication. In all aspects, people must learn how to be responsible. All aspects, not only in communication. Because we talk about social media, we are referring directly to communication. All aspects in life, people should learn how to be responsible. As I earlier said, the man who took that decision is the head of state. And head of state has his advisors, his technical advisor, he has everybody that around him, and he has what we call the diplomatic advisors. So before he takes a decision like that, he has measured and weighed the consequences. So I don't think I will sit here or trying to, I don't know, is it divination or try to know why? No. Before he took that decision, he has measured.
We should be responsible when we are using social media.
Not only social media, everything we are doing in life.
We should be responsible.
We should be responsible.
Thank you.
Which is about every aspect in our lives.
Responsible?
Yes.
Honorable Dagger George.
I will go in line with his word. That word, responsibility, I like it. He said in everything we do in life,
we should be responsible.
It's true. Because a responsible leader will make sure that he take into consideration the negative impact of his decision and the positive impact of his decision before taking any decision. So responsibilities matters as far as leaders are concerned. I like that. Thank you so much. And that is what I can also add, a responsibility. But I just want to correct one notion here concerning a militant that left PAP, and he said on this platform last Saturday that he has spent a lot of resources in PAP. This particular individual came to PAP 6 years ago, and most of his outing and most of his dealings, PAP have been the ones spending their money on him.
6 years ago.
6 years ago. And he said he has spent 14 years of his life in PAP. That's fake. He spent 6 years in PAP. And this 6 years in PAP, he has been nothing but a liability that PAP has struggled to give visibility. Individuals, when you leave a place, leave it peacefully. Stop lying. He did not spend a dime in PAP.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Yes, Hassan Sama wants to add something before we finally go. Hassan Sama in 30 seconds.
Yeah, just in the same light, PAP is not up to 14 years old. So he couldn't have been there spending for 14 years.
No, PAP was formed in 1991.
No. When you talk of PAP, I'm telling you what PAP was. PAP became something when Honorable Aya Paul brought
2011.
2011. And then the person you are talking of was not yet born by that time you are talking of. So
Yeah.
PAP is 2011, and I was there and the person was not there. So I'm supporting what you are saying.
Yes.
He should not even give the time that is given to 14 years fake. Is not true, because he is in PAP. I am not sure he has made up to 10 years there.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
We wish to all political leaders, the PAP and the rest, be it the CPD, be it the PCRN or other political parties, we wish you all a happy good afternoon, and blessings because we know that this is an electoral year. We say thank you for watching Camdi's television. Take another appointment with me when it would be 6:30 p.m. on Monday for the program Selactu. Programs continue on Camdi's television, and of course we shall have our newscast in the French language at 8 p.m. Hippolyte Nama will be coming with the guests at 9 p.m. So then we say, may the Almighty God continue to bless the Republic as we say Ubuntu.